absolute value is the distance from 0. So the absolute value of 7, it's asking how far is 7 from 0. It is 7. The absolute value of a -8. It's asking how far is it from 0. So how far is a -8 from 0? 8. Not -8, it's 8. Absolute value is the distance. The distance I measure is always positive. Notice if I use the ruler and I measure this way, it's a foot. Still a foot. This is a foot. It doesn't matter where I do it, how I hold it, a distance is always positive. This is a foot, no matter which way I want to twist and turn and shake it, okay? So this is 8. Now, this column of numbers over here, that's where you put your answer so that it's easier for me to correct. So the 7 will go there, and the 8 would go there. Just make sure you copy them right. Number 3. It's 5 plus 8. Hopefully you can do that math in your head. And you get 13. Number 4, go ahead. The -8 has a -6 and a -2 to get -8. So these 6's cancel, leaving just the -2 left over. Just another way to think about it, another visual for you. 6 plus a -8 is a -2. Or you could have did it this way or thought of it this way. 8 minus 6 is 2. I have more negatives, so it's -2. Number 5. You don't have to work ahead because we're going to take our time going slow on these. I have more positives, so it's a positive 1. Number 6. I'm adding 2 negatives, so I just add them and keep it negative. -16. Number 7. Eight sticks, take away 2 sticks is 6. You could have did the 8 plus a -2, and then we're back to 8 minus 2, 6. Number 8. Seven minus a minus. Remember, you could just change the minus a minus to a big plus, or you could rewrite it. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9. -6 plus a -2. Some of you from here, you can get the right answer of a -8. Some of you can't. So rewrite it. subtracting to adding the opposite. I'm adding, they're both negative, so I just add them and keep it negative. Number 10. The signs are different, so I find their difference. I have more negatives, so it's a -3. Put it in, 5 minus 2 is 3. I have more negatives, so it's a -3. 11. Adding and subtracting, I work left to right. So when I do this right here, 4 minus 4, that's 0. Plus a -1. So I get -1. Number 12. Change the subtracting to adding the opposite. So this right here is a -1. -3 plus 2 is a -1. I'm still adding the 9. Okay. The signs are different, so I find their difference. I have more positives, so it's a +8. Well, I walked around, I saw some -8, so make sure you understand why it's a +8. Okay? Number 13. Oh, that's why. I copied it wrong. Like, when I first rewrote it, I put a 2 there. It happens. It's okay. We can make mistakes. So we get -5. You didn't get -5. Make sure you understand why it's wrong. Number 14. So a -2 plus a -10 is a -12. Subtract 9. Some of you can go from here to here, and that's fine. But others change subtracting to adding the opposite. I'm adding, they're both negative, so I just add them and keep it negative. You gotta have those rules memorized. All right, now 15, we're into the next section of types of problems. And here you gotta follow order of operations. Okay, go ahead. I'll give you a little bit more time to work on this one. Number 15. All right, order of operations, say I'm going to multiply or divide before I add and subtract. It's with the multiplying and dividing, I work left to right, so I'm going to do this dividing first. So that's going to be a -3 minus, and when I do that, 7 divided by 1 is 7, so I get -7 times 9. I am going to multiply before I subtract, so it's a -3 minus, and then that is a -63. Minus a minus, we change to adding, so that's a -3 plus 63, which gives me 60. Okay, so hopefully you got 60. Number 16, go ahead. I just might have that good. Yep, we'll go over that. All right, we have to remember to do the exponent first. So this is 4 plus 9 minus 100. 4 plus 9 is 13. Minus 100, that is, I'm taking away more than what I have. So it's 87 negative. Or if you need to, you can change subtracting to adding the opposite. I'm adding, so 100 minus 13 again is 87. I have more negatives, so it's a negative 87. All right, 17. I already have common denominators, so I just go top times top, and the denominator stays the same. 1 plus 3 is 4. My denominator stays the same, and 4 over 4 simplified is 1. Go ahead, number 18. I'm common denominators. I already have them. I'm subtracting. 6 minus 3 is 3. Ace. So it's 3 ace. Go ahead, number 19. Okay, I saw a couple different answers as I was looking through, okay? So, common denominator, I have to take top and bottom here times 2 to get 2/4. Okay, a half we want is 2/4, we want common denominator. When I'm adding, 2 plus 3 is 5 fours, and 1 plus 1 is 2, but this is improper. I have a hole in here with 1 left over. When I take the 4 from 5, I get 1, so 1 left over, and 1 that whole, so I get 3 and 1/4. All right, go ahead. Number 20. Then you get 15. You don't have common denominator. Right? Yeah. So you can do it this way. It's a little harder, but that's fine. And you have common denominator of 10s, right? So here's going to be 36 over 10. This is going to be 15 over 10. And then subtract and simplify. Okay? I'm going to show you a little bit different way up here when I do it. Okay, so now remember, with the adding and subtracting of mixed numbers, you don't have to change them to improper fractions. Multiplying and dividing you do, but adding and subtracting you don't. You just need common denominators. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to get 6/10, and here I'm going to get 5/10. 6 minus 5 is 1, plus 1/10. 3 minus 1 is 2, so that's 2 and 1/10. You should hopefully have had 21/10. That still gives you 2 and 1/10. All right, 21. Remember, multiplying fractions, we go top times top, bottom times bottom. So that is 1/8. After you multiply or divide, make sure you simplify. Question? Okay. Go ahead, number 22. When dividing by fractions, don't ask why. Flip the second and multiply. Not that one. Sometimes yes, but that one, no. We changed dividing to multiplying by the reciprocal, and then top times top, bottom times bottom, and simplify. In this case, we can't. There's nothing to simplify. So that's your answer. All right, 23. Go ahead. Notice we don't have to do common denominator. We just had to rewrite them to improper fractions. And then we go top times top, bottom times bottom. 8 goes into 39 4 times. 39 minus the 32. Where'd the 32 come from? 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32, and when I subtract, I have 7. 7 left over, so it's 4 and 7/8. Four and 7/8. All right, 24. Okay, so dividing or multiplying, I have to change these to improper fractions. So bottom times big plus top, I get 9/2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7/4. I'm still dividing, so now I have to change it to multiplying, and then the reciprocal here. Okay? Top times top, 36. Bottom times bottom, 14. 2 goes into both, 18/7. So that's going to be 2, that's 14, and 4/7. So we get 2 and 4/7. When I call off your name, come grab the quiz, okay? And then take a couple minutes to study, because I got to make copies of the test yet. And then we'll take the test.